Hey everybody, I want to Weasum here. It is Thursday, July 24th, 2014. This will be another great day in Skylanders history. Now, tonight at San Diego ComicCon, the Skylanders were out in force. Had the gameplay setups, the costume contest, all that cool stuff. Rob has actually tweeted, I believe the winning costume was actually this really well done scratch one. I was surprised how well done it was actually. He has another shot, I believe, of the chomp he made. You can see those on his Twitter. I believe it's CoinOp TV. But that said, the other big announcement that came out there, and what I'm going to talk about here, is the introduction of Eon's Elite. This is kind of a blindsided deal. Nobody knew this was coming. Me personally, I think it's pretty cool, but let's go ahead, run you through it, offer up my little quick analysis on it, and then I'll probably hop back over to the pool table and run some other things by you. But let's see here. We will get started, and here we go. Activision announced plans to bring Eon's Elite, a new set of premium toys to Skylander fans worldwide this fall. The limited edition Eon's Elite will introduce 8 must-have collectible versions of fan-favorite Skylanders characters, beginning with Spyro and Chop Chop. The heroes in the Eon's Elite roster hail from the original Skylander Spyro's Adventure and have been carefully selected by Master Eon. So if you have any beef here, you're taking it out on Eon himself for displaying undaunted courage and commitment to defending all of Skylands. Eon's Elite features a never-before-seen decoration with a distinct metallic finish and a golden base that sets them apart from other Skylanders toys. Each of these special edition toys will be offered in premium foil packaging and also features a display case with a 3D lenticular background. Did I say that correctly? I don't know. Basically, in layman's terms, that means the background's going to be 3D and look really cool. Additionally, when played in-game, get ready for this, Eon's Elite will be up to 3 times as powerful over other characters, which represents, if you did not know, the biggest in-game boost ever incorporated into a Skylanders toy to date. Better than Dark, better than Legendary, cream of the crop, up to 3 times, not 3 times across the board, but up to 3 times more powerful. Eon's Elite represents the most iconic characters from the original Skylanders game that started it all, said Josh Taub, Senior VP of Product Marketing at Activision Publishing. These 8 toys are not only premium quality, but also honor the character's strength, courage, and commitment. We are excited to extend our fans' collections with this new line. Eon's Elite will be available in limited quantities at GameStop here in the US, EB Games where applicable, I guess Australia and New Zealand, and select retailers in Europe this fall while supplies last. Not exactly sure where in Europe. I do know I have a lot of Australia and New Zealand people because of the time that I upload my videos. So just like I can get these at GameStop come this fall, y'all can get them at EB Games. And I believe that's Canada as well, has EB if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, real quick here, my analysis. I'm basically taking this from my blog post that I've already got up for you. GameStop will be getting the exclusive rights to Eon's Elite Skylanders. These are special limited edition Skylanders that are given 4 key improvements, at least that we know of at this time. Those 4 are, number 1, a metallic finish paint with the golden base. When I say base in this case, I'm talking about like the rocks on the earth element, the skull and rocks for the undead. I'm not talking about like our green, orange, and red bases for SSA Giants and Swap Force. The base on these almost looks clear to me. Don't hold me to that. I've seen some people say it's like purple haze, not haze, but that would be hysterical, but kind of a purple. I don't see that. I see clear. But when they say base in this case, they're not talking about like the clear translucent RFID part. They're talking like, as I mentioned, the skull for your undead element, the fire, the water, whatever that may be. That is now gold, and it is a metallic gold. That's a key point there. Premium foil packaging. Haven't really seen this. The one they sent 2 pictures. One was high res, one was low res. I use the high res and everything I can for you. That's kind of self-explanatory, but in terms of does that correlate to the, like the cardboard backing, I don't know. Is it just the name tag, something along those lines? That is yet to be seen, since we don't have like a finished packaged thing for you. Something that is included is the display case with the 3D lenticular background. Again, the way I look at that, I believe these will be packaged, and then the display case is probably going to be clear, and it will house the background probably embedded in it, and then you'll have your figure sitting there inside the case. It'll keep them dust free. Dust only gets on the case, but basically if you were to pick it up and tilt it around, you would kind of see like the background changing, you know, forms or something like that. So at least that's what I'm perceiving it to be. And again, lastly, and maybe most importantly for those of you saying, why would I buy that? I don't care about collecting. 3 times more powerful. Again, that's not across the board, but up to 3 times as powerful. That's a huge, huge jump. Think, if you will, for a minute, we'll just pick off, you know, something like 26 to 39 standard and critical. Okay, so I should have done something easier to multiply, but 26 times 3 I know is 78. So we'll say Slam Bam's throwing a punch at 26, and say he has selected the Eon's Elite, he's going to be doing 78. And then on the critical side, you'd have 39 times 3, which would be 90, 27, 100, like 117. So that is a huge, huge jump. Take some of the Wow Pow numbers, for example. Something that wasn't mentioned here. I read this somewhere. I read something about like a special Wow Pal. What I read to you is the actual press release. Yeah, so wherever I read the Eon's Elite Wow Pal, that wasn't actually mentioned here. And since this is the official press release, I don't know. I'm not sure where that information came from. What I have does not mention a Eon's Elite Wow Pal. Could it be there? Absolutely. Is it mentioned here? Not yet. However, that could also be something someone got information on, and that's where up to the 3 times as powerful comes from. Not 100% sure there. My biggest question was, are these guys going to be packaged individually, which I think is correct, or will they be a double pack like Spyro and Chop Chop? I want to say individually, and the background is just there to highlight both of them. That's where I'm kind of leaning on this. Price, I don't know. My thoughts would be somewhere around either the $9.99, maybe up to like the $15.99 price point. Again, they will be exclusive to GameStop. The most important thing you can take from this right now is there's 8 of them. Obviously, if you have any numerology sense at all in relation to Skylanders, anytime you hear that there's 8 of something, you can assume there's 1 per element. 16, 2 per element, and so on. So likely we're going to see 1 per element here. That bids the question, who will the other 6 Eon's Elite be? More on that in just a little bit. And also of note, these will be all SSA characters. So if you're a fan of Pop Fizz, he's not going to be in this round. Fright Rider, not an option. Grim Creeper, Riptide, so on. These will be the original 32. Plenty to choose from. Basically 4 characters per element. And it's kind of a wait-and-see game. Again, more on that here coming shortly. Personally, I thought it was odd that the Dark Edition lost their exclusive status at GameStop. This kind of makes up for that. Similarly, this is going to go more in line as a competitive thing against Toys R Us. Maybe other retailers were upset about the Dark Edition starter pack. Maybe, I know a lot of people complained about it last year, and I still don't know why, because I thought it was a great deal. But as you know, the Dark Edition starter pack available everywhere. And maybe this is kind of to offset the blow to GameStop. I think it's a pretty cool deal. Let's see here. I'm pretty excited. I'd like to, if it's possible, get one, you know, like Spyro, to have strictly for display, and then one, of course, to have open and play with, even though I'd probably put it back in the display case when it wasn't in use. Basically, the ones that I'm keeping sealed would just like go into storage, if you will, and then the other set of the 8 would just be to display / play. So that would be my ideal strategy. Price and availability may change my plans there. It is yet to be seen. I'll try next time I run into GameStop, see if the people I speak to have any insights on that. But this fall leads me to believe probably around the launch of Trap Team. Could it come earlier? Absolutely. Let's see here. Now I'm going to head over to the pool table. It'll just be a little bit more lively for you. You can only look at these so long. If you want to see the pictures, head over, take that link at the top of the video description box. You'll see the picture standalone. You can click it, enlarge it, save it, make it your background, your avatar, whatever you want to do with it. But I'm going to head over there. I've got some brand new exciting news regarding some polls and what I want to get your feedback on here. So once again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you here in just a second. Alright, hey everybody, as planned, we have hopped over here to the pool table, give you something a little different to look at aside from that just one generic still image. Chase McCain is hitting the same spot as I did in the last video, but I don't think I'm going to use the last video because it featured the gummies, and it was a horrible video because I did a taste test. This long story there, not even going to go into it. What I do want to go into though right now as an end to this video here of Eon's Elite announcement, I've got some brand new polls on the blog. If you recall, on my site there was the issue where the poll data just disappeared and then I couldn't have any for a long time. It came back up and functional a couple of weeks ago, and we're finally going to cash in on that. So that said, in the comments section on my site, oneofwisdom.com, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, whatever works for you, here are some of the things I want to know from you regarding the announcement for the Eon's Elite Skylanders line. First off, just what are your thoughts on Eon's Elite? Who do you think they will be? This, to me, is the most interesting thing. Regardless of whether you think it's an idiotic idea or the greatest thing since sliced bread, we know Spyro, we know Chop Chop, but there's 6 other elements that we do not know yet. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I've got a pretty good idea of who I think they'll probably select. There's a couple that are a crapshoot there. I have some that would probably deviate considerably from what they'll probably select, but hey, that's how it goes right there. So I'm inclined to believe we'll see like the faithful trios, you know, like the starter pack characters, probably Gil Grunt, Trigger Happy, then the ones that are like mainstream, your Stealth Elf, Fire Element, who have we seen the most of? Eruptor. I think it'd be wicked cool if we saw Igniter come into the mix. Flameslinger would kind of, actually, honestly, any of them would be neat. Again, the original SSA guys are some of my favorites, including the Castaways, the original 8, and including the characters which have yet to see the light of day. Will this be Boomer's chance to shine? Our lovable loser troll here, could he possibly return as one of Eon's Elite? There's a chance. Will it be Trigger Happy? More than likely, but wouldn't that be the ultimate slap in the face of everyone that doubted this guy if he actually emerged as the original SSA tech selection for Eon's Elite? That would just be awesome. Similarly, I'd love to see Ghost Roaster. Obviously, we know Chop Chop's already there. That and Spyro is why I'm kind of inclined to believe, you know, like instead of Dino Ring popping in, it's probably going to be Terrafin or Prism Break. Earth Element, you can't go wrong with anyone, in my opinion, out of the original 4. It's a tough call there, though, because Terrafin is used quite a bit. He's in the upcoming book. He's been in a lot of the commercials, their publicity stuff, but Prism Break has made a lot of appearances and other things, and he's got one figure up by way of Light Core. So that's a tough call right there. I would be content with either of those. Air Element, I'm inclined to think Whirlwind would be their pick. Personally, I'd love to see Warnado come back. Lightning Rod, that actually would make a lot of sense in terms of Eons. I mean, it's all speculation. I can go into my personal list of what I think it will be and what I would personally like to see in the comments section on my site or something. Just let me know if you have any interest in what I think. But again, I'm inclined to believe it will probably be who we can all expect it to be, if that makes any sense to you. Let's see here. Do you plan to buy the Eon's Elite characters? If so, are you going to buy one to keep sealed and one to open and play with? Are you just going to buy one of them? Do you plan to use them? What exactly, you know, discounting any like extreme shortages or quantity issues or something. In a perfect scenario, these are available at your local store. You could buy as many as you want. What would you do? And please don't tell me you would scalp them. Let's see here. How do you feel about the 8 coming from SSA backgrounds? This is an interesting little element of tidbit in there. There's 8 of them, obviously, so we can assume 1 per element, but it's kind of interesting that at this point in the game, with 3 games under the belt and 3 different Newlander rosters to choose from, SSA, Giants, and SWAT Force, kind of cool in my opinion to see him reach back to the SSA heyday. But I know we've got a lot of Pop Fizz fans, a lot of Hot Dog fans. Sprocket still has that cult following going. I'm sure some of the SWAT Force Newlanders have the same thing. So let me know your thoughts on that. The 3 times as powerful, again, that could tie in with what I've heard some people allege of the Master Eon's Elite Wow Pow. That was not in the press release. So someone could have gotten that information. It's liable to be legit. It could be just blowing smoke. I don't know right now. All I can tell you that is factual is what was in the press release, and that was not. What was in the press release was up to 3 times as powerful. Now, could that correlate to a new Wow Pow? Is that where the damage would come from? Absolutely. But the way it is with that not mentioned in there, it could also mean that Terrafin does, 13 damage. We'll do something easy, 5 to 10 damage, standard and critical. It could then transition to 15 to 30. So what are your thoughts on that? Is it overkill? Is it awesome? Is it something you're looking forward to using? Similarly, for those of you that might be huge fans of our legendary Skylanders at Toys R Us, like Bouncer over here, or our Dark Edition characters like we had at GameStop, are you irked by the fact that they're bringing out Eon's Elite that kind of 1-up or 3-up everybody, if you will? Or do you think it's cool? Bottom line, let me know what you think of Eon's Elite. Is it something you're going to rush out and buy as soon as possible? Is it something you're going to stock up on? Is it something that you think is idiotic and you're not even going to attempt to look for them? Me personally, again, I think it's cool. The main features, of course, just to recap for you, they're kind of geared towards collectors. It's almost like a repaint. It's like if I went out and I picked up some original SSA people like Boomer. We'll just have some theoretical fun here and assume that it won't be trigger happy. Take Boomer here. We're going to make this gear area. That's actually going to become a metallic gold. The green base indicative of the SSA status, that's actually going to be like a clear. Again, I've seen some people say it's purple. It looks clear to me. Now, I've only seen, Spyro and Chop Chop, so who knows? And it wasn't officially mentioned, but that's what I see is clear. So they're going to have the different, translucent base, whatever color it may be, metallic gold for all of the characters here on their actual base. The gears for tech, the skull for undead, etc. And then the character itself gets a repaint in a very nice metallic color. Then they've got premium foil packaging. It will actually include within that a display case with a sweet looking 3D background. Again, that's probably going to be a deal here. If my hand was like the background of, bombs and trolls or whatever it may be, as I moved it back and forth, you would kind of see it like shift and maybe see like a different setting. So that'll be really neat. And it'll be inside a display case. And then lastly, where Boomer Down Clobber Troll was pretty good, or Demolition Troll was pretty good, possibly up to 3 times as powerful. Now, again, is that every attack or is that some new funky Wow Pow? We don't know yet because it wasn't mentioned in the press release. And again, I don't give you false information. I could title my videos differently. I could come in here and I could make him look metallic and have a fake screenshot. I don't do that stuff. My goal is to present to you factual information, and you'll know when you come to my channel, which you will hopefully do often and always. For news, I'm a reputable source, and you can take what I say and believe it to be true, and know that it's nothing fabricated or insinuated or just trying to get views. I present what I know to be true to you. So that said, the polls, if you have forgotten, go to oneofwisdom.com. You're going to scroll down, and on the right hand side just below my Twitter feed, again, if you're not on Twitter, you can keep up with me on Twitter just by going to my site and kind of scrolling through there. But poll number 1, are you excited about Eon's Elite? Your options are yes and no. I've got this running through Halloween, right about midnight Central Standard Time.
Then I want to know about your Eon's Elite buying strategy. Option 1 is 2 each, 1 to play and 1 to keep sealed. Then I have buy 1 of each. Basically that means you'll buy 1 of each, regardless of what you plan to do with them. Will you only buy your favorites? For example, you love Spyro, you're picking that up. You don't care for Chop Chop, so you're not going to get him. And then say Whirlwind comes out, you love her, you buy her. And then we'll say Gilgrunt is the water guy, and you don't care for him, so you don't get him. So that's what only buying my favorites would be. Now, only what looks cool. That would be maybe you like Spyro, but you're like, man, I've got 4 or 5 figures of the guy. That it's not that much different. I don't need it. And then if you see, say, Chop Chop, and you're like, wow, that looks way, way better than his original SSA pose, I've got to have it. That's what only looks cool would be. And then, of course, for those of you that think it's crazy or idiotic or pointless or trivial or something, not buying any. Just below that, not directly related, but I have 2 new polls. Your thoughts on the Trap Team Dark Edition starter pack, and then of course your Trap Team Dark Edition buying plan. So that said, Eon's Elite announced today at San Diego Comic-Con. Me personally, again, I think it's pretty cool. What am I most excited about? Number 1, seeing like the finished product here. We'll just grab choices. We'll go with Frito-Lay Fright Rider, since there's that crazy promotion, which, by the way, I have not won. How are they going to do the packaging? I mean, what will it look like with the foil setting? How big will the display case be? How will it all look? That's something I'm interested to see, but really, what is piquing my interest the most is just who will the other 6 characters be. Again, that's something I definitely want to see in the comments, who you think it will be and who you want it to be. Some of you may think it'll be Trigger Happy, but maybe you'd prefer Drobots. Or maybe you're like me and you think it'd kind of be cool to see Boomer come back, just to spite everyone that doubted the little guy. So let me know your thoughts on that, just in general on Eon's Elite. Covered everything, pretty much whatever you want to discuss, throw it out there. Here in the comments section on YouTube, my site, oneofwisdom.com. Gotta see what's going on there on Twitter. Twitter, Facebook, Google+, whatever it may be. Again, something weird, I don't get notifications on email half the time. On YouTube comments people leave, I can't respond to them, either through YouTube or through Google+. It's really kind of damped things. Here, like the last 2.5 years, things with technology in general have just kind of gone downhill. Where things used to be simple and functional, now they're like super complex and they don't work. And I don't know what happened. It's supposed to get better, not worse, and it's crazy. Again, I used to say back in the day, please use the site, oneofwisdom.com, because that's something that I can always get the feedback on and I could reply to you. I still believe that. If you want to discuss this in length and detail, I suggest to go there, just mainly because I will get that notice. But another story, another day. I'll probably make a video on that eventually. But again, to recap, Eon's Elite announced today there's going to be 8 characters hand-selected by Master Eon himself from the original cast of 32 in SSA, 1 per element to become Eon's Elite. Metallic paints, special packaging with a display case, 3D background, up to 3 times as powerful as other Skylanders. Only available at GameStop here in the US, EB Games, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, I don't know. We'll find out eventually, sorry. But price points not known currently, but I'm excited about it. Will I pick them all up? Yes. If money is not an issue and their availability isn't an issue, I'll get 1 of each. One will basically disappear in storage, and the other will sit out somewhere prominently, and I will probably play the snot out of them. So I'm excited about it. Let me know your thoughts. We'll take it from there. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here with yet more Skylanders Trap Team news. I've got a ton of stuff. This might take me multiple days to crank out. Have a load of information on Trap Team. I have some B-roll footage I've got to get sorted for you. Dark Edition highlights, things of that nature. Still got a few E3 items to throw out there for you. And in regards to my upgrade paths, with the attack damage documented, I've done everyone except Fire Kraken. As soon as time allows for me to actually sit down and type up my posts, I'll release those videos. They're already all uploaded and ready to go on YouTube. I just need time to make the corresponding posts. So tons and tons of stuff coming up. My nephew's wanting to do some more Pocket Edition in Minecraft this weekend. So should see a lot. Once I get the time to actually make the post, you'll start to see a ton of content start flowing out here. So stay tuned for that. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Eon's Elite. And keep your fingers crossed that we see Boomer come back, because that would just be awesome. Anyway, I will leave it at that. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you back here shortly.